Hi everyone and welcome to my September TBR. I just want to start by saying it's not autumn yet. At least where I am, it's not autumn yet. It is still warm and green. So maybe until the end, like pushing the end of September, I'll start to feel a little bit more in the autumn mood, but as of right now, I'm not. However, there are a few autumny books in this video, so we will see. But anyways, I'm gonna start with the TBR jar prompts, just to get that out of the way. This is my little TBR box because I didn't have a jar lying around when I made this, and this will just have to do. Is it the most convenient for like mixing and picking one? No, but I made it so long ago I don't even remember what the prompts are. I also have them color coded depending on whether it's a prompt or whether it's a book, like a physical book on my TBR, because I really need to get through that. And I figured if I have to pick it, like have to read it because I picked it from this, it'll make me read it more rather than doing it based off of the prompt and then potentially picking something that's not on my physical TBR, because knowing me, I wouldn't. So just makes me actually need to put it on my TBR. Again, I don't remember which color is which. I think green is there's more green, so I'm assuming that green is one of my books and then blue is a prompt. So I'm just gonna, and I'm gonna close my eyes, and I'm not gonna do I'm gonna pick 3, and I'm not going to, if they all happen to be green, then they all happen to be green, and if they all happen to be blue, then they all happen to be blue, you know? Okay. This one. Oh gosh, okay. Is that the right way around? I don't know. Oh, okay. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. That's actually very autumny. Not me saying that doesn't even feel like autumn and me going, I want to read autumn books, but that is very autumny. So that's probably like a book for later in the month. I like that. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, next one. Another physical to go. Okay, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. Oh, that's around, I think. Throne of Glass. Okay. You know what? Not mad about that one either, because that also feels more leaning towards autumn. And if I start that now, I could potentially finish that series by the end of the year. We'll see. We will see. I'm gonna hope for a blue one, just to change things up. Also because this is the first time I'm doing like a TBR prompt, and I just want a little bit of a mix. But we'll see. This one. Oh, it's green again. Okay, that's okay. Watch this be completely not September-y. Oh, I looked at it first. What does that say? Gallant by V.E. Schwab. Okay, I don't know much about that book, but I do think that it kind of fits this vibe. So we have Gallant, Throne of Glass, and Ninth House off of my physical TBR to read this month. I think I could do that. Yeah, I think I could do that. I don't know how busy this month is going to be, to be honest, so we will see. Those all kind of fit the same vibe, so I'm happy with that. Okay, next I want to talk about a few of the new releases that are on my radar for this month. I'm such a mood reader, so I don't know if I will get around to these new releases. Knowing me, I'll accidentally pick up something else and then binge that. But anyway, we have Soul Searching by Lila Sage. I would love to read. I love her Rebel Blue Ranch series, and that's like a very familiar cowboy romance series, but Soul Searching, I believe, is a different genre. I believe it's not horror by any means, but it's a little bit of magical suspense. How did she describe it? She described it really well. I mean, I would assume so. She wrote the book. I believe it's a slightly paranormal, still a romance, I think. Like a romantic paranormal set in a small town, but still a little bit Western. And that just seems right up my alley, and I would love to try a book. I've never read a book like that, and I think that if someone can do it, it's Lila Sage. And I mean, come on, the cover. That cover is gorgeous, and I need that physically. So I hope that I can find that in my bookshop, because I need that book. I need it. Next we have People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young, and this is going to be separate to her other books, I believe, like Out on a Limb and Next to Kin. I must admit, I have not read her books yet, but this one, just the cover itself really caught my... That's my dog throwing his toy around, sorry. This one really caught my eye, like the cover of it. I also think it's quite a different style compared to her other books. Like her other books, the covers are quite like classic romance, contemporary, cartoony. And this one, the only way I can describe it is more like artsy, and that just really spoke to me. But I would also love to read her backlog. Not necessarily before this one, I don't think I have to, but eventually I'd like to get through that, her backlog. Yeah, I don't know much, you know what? Let's find out what this one's about. That's like genuinely, I literally just saw the cover and I went, I need to read that. I'm such a cover person, like I will judge it by the cover, and you can get me to pick up a book purely based off of the cover, which is what's happening now. And these are all expected to come out later in the month. I feel like lots of September releases are coming out later in the month. It's friends to lovers. That's one of my favorite tropes. That is genuinely one of my favorite tropes. Okay, you know what? That's all I need to know. That is all I need to know. Nice cover, friends to lovers. All I need to know. We're gonna leave it at that. And then we actually have Wild Card. So I have read Wild Love, and I read it in between my like Zodiac Academy reading spree. So it was kind of like a palate cleanser, and I fell in love with Ford in the book. Like I really loved his character, and I love Elsie Silver. Like she is one of my top favorite romance authors. I know she's popular, but she's popular for a reason, you know? And Wild Card, I saw like a snippet that she posted recently, I think to TikTok, and my jaw was like, okay, I see what you're doing here. So I just think that was going to be really fun. And yes, I still need to read the other two. I will get around to doing that because I like them as like palette cleanser books. But I'm really looking forward to Wild Card. Like the other ones as well in the series, but this one in particular I'm really looking forward to. But I feel like most people know what Wild Card is and what it's about. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. The next book that I would really love to pick up is Alchemized by Sen Lin Yu. I have been wanting to read their book Manacled for so long. Like I downloaded it years ago to read like on my Kindle or on my phone, like off of AO3. I'm not a fan fiction person in particular, like I've never been inclined to pick one up, but this one I have been inclined to pick up. It's a classic Hermione and Draco fan fiction, which is supposed to be insanely good. Like just the writing and the plot is, and like the emotions and everything is supposed to be insanely good. So I would love to read that. And obviously Alchemized is now the traditionally published version of that. So obviously there's going to be rewrites. They can't use the same characters. They can't call Hermione Hermione, you know? So I don't know if it would be that bad to read both of them so close to each other. They're also way too long. Okay, that made it sound like a bad thing. They're just enormous books. Like Alchemized is 1,000 pages, or at least that's what it's listed as on Goodreads. I don't know if I have that in me. Like I struggle to get these 600 page books sometimes. 1,000, that would take me like 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't know if it would be a smart idea to read them so close to each other. That might actually put me in a book slump, and I've been really good to not get in a book slump these past couple months, and I would like to keep that going until the end of the year. So we will see about that one. But then I wouldn't know which one to read first, because no, I feel like I would have to read Manacled first. We'll see. This is a very tentative September TBR. I am in Emmy's book club on Fable. It's free to join, and I have been in the last 2 books so far, and I've been loving it. So I'm really excited to read, like to pick up books from her book club. And I think this month's book club is The Poppy War, which is really exciting because I've owned this book for way too long to have not picked it up yet, and I would love to read it. And I feel like the fact that it's this month's book club book will make me more inclined to pick it up. So I'm excited to read that one. It's I believe it's high fantasy, or at least just fantasy. I honestly don't know that much about it. I like not knowing much about my fantasy books. All I know is that it's good. So we'll see. And then I have 2 books, 2 romance books to be specific, that I've picked up at some point this year, read 50 pages and put down because I just wasn't in the mood to read, and I was struggling with quite a bit of a reading slump throughout the like first 6 months of the year. But now I just need these to be finished, and they are Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. Once I have finished this book, I have read her entire backlog, except for that one like gaming audiobook novella that I don't have access to. I have read her entire backlog, and that's fulfilling, you know? Yeah, Not in Love. I think I picked this up on a train ride. Like I had a 6-hour long train ride, and I picked this up and I just put it down after a couple hours and then just never came back to it because I think I was going to uni and then uni hit. But I'm on chapter 8. But then I read Problematic Summer Romance this last summer when it came out, and they were talking about the two characters in this book, and I didn't realize that at first, and I was like, these characters sound so familiar. I didn't realize, and I was like, oh, it's because they're from this book that I started and never finished. And I did like them in Problematic Summer Romance, so it did make me A, remember that this book existed, and B, want to pick up this book. Did it technically spoil it because that book is set in their wedding? Yes, but we all know that they were gonna end up together. It's a romance book. Hello. And then we have The Boyfriend Candidate by Ashley Winston. Now this book I got because I was in England for my study abroad, and I was in the works, and they had their 3 for £7.50. Hello. That sounds so much worse than 3 for £6. But anyways, that's a different conversation. They had their deal, and I had picked up 2 other books. I don't remember now because it was so long ago, and I needed a third one to fill the deal, and this was the only one that caught my eye at the time. So yeah, it's about a primary school librarian. It's about a library school. It's about a primary school librarian and the candidate for mayor or something. I don't remember. The candidate for something, and it's set in the States. And I believe he is an Englishman though, but he's running for like, I don't remember what he was running for. I did like this book, and I did pick it up because I know that my friend Lena really liked it when she read it. So I was like, okay, I'll pick it up because I've heard good things about it. And it's not that I didn't like it. I just, again, picked it up at the wrong time. So yeah, just a fun rom-com. And Lynn Painter quoted this, and I love Lynn Painter books. So, must be good. Okay, and then I want to quickly touch on the series that I've picked up recently that I'm still in the middle of, that I will most likely be finishing soon because I don't have many books left in the series, and I'm enjoying them enough to continue them soon. I'm in the midst of the Zodiac Academy universe. I have read books 1 through 3, and I decided to put that series aside to finish or to read the Ruthless Boys series. And I am on book 4. I am like 90% into book 4. I am listening to this. I read the first 3 physically, and then this 4th one I'm listening to it on audio, and I love it. It's just silly. The writing's not the most incredible thing I've ever listened to, but it makes it so easy to fly through, and it's entertaining. It's just entertaining. I like the characters. I think they're fun. The story is, I don't know if intense is the right word, but the story is captivating enough that I don't mind that it's not the most beautifully written book. But yeah, so I have this book to finish, which I could probably do today, and then start the last book in that series, and then once I finish that book, I can then go back to the Zodiac Academy and then finish that. Do I think I can finish this by the end of the year? I don't know, because the Zodiac Academy books I've only ever listened to, and to be fair, I do listen on 2.5 times speed, so I can get through one of those books in like a day and a half. I don't know, I like to read one in the series, whether it's Zodiac Academy or whether it's Ruthless Boys, and then pick up something else. So like that's where like Wild Love came in. That's probably where like one of these 2 books is gonna come in, just because if I read them, like there's so many in the series, I always find when it's a big series that I'm attempting to read, I'll get to like the 5th book and then not pick it up again, even though I really like the series. So this way, if I space it out, I'll actually get through the series. So yeah, I'm in the midst of that universe and I'm loving it. I love it. It's just is great. Then I picked up Face Off by Chelsea Curto, which is an indie book available on KU. It's an ice hockey romance, and I haven't read an ice hockey romance in so long, so I've been reading a lot of fantasy and Zodiac Academy. It was a book that I picked up in the middle of my Ruthless Boys books as a palate cleanser, and I love the series. Genuinely, I love the main girl, Emmy. She's just such a great woman. Mav, great guy. Honestly, I'm 80-something% through the book. I think it's gonna be a 5-star book, and I think it's gonna be a 5-star series. It gives me the same feeling as when I read the Off-Campus series years ago, and I've been wanting that for ages. I'm gonna probably talk about those more in a wrap-up, because I feel like technically it's the last day of August today, but I feel like I can finish those 2 books today and then talk about those more in my wrap-up. That is my September TBR. Again, I'm a mood reader, so will I get around to finishing all these books? Probably not. Would it be nice? Yes. Am I gonna pick up a bunch in between? Obviously. I'm actually really looking forward to these 3. I think Gallant and Ninth House I could definitely do. Throne of Glass, it's one of those series that are just so popular that I feel like I have to find the right time to read the series, but at the same time I say that with so many books, and the right time never comes, so we'll see. But if I do read that one, I will probably turn it into its own reading vlog, just because there's A, so many books, and B, it's such a beloved series that I feel like filming my thoughts on that just in one video would be really cool to show. And we're gonna try to tackle that's 3 books plus the 2 slightly read books. That's 5 books off of my TBR, or off of my physical TBR if I get them read. So we will see. Don't know how busy September's gonna be, but at least I'll be reading. But anyways, hope you enjoyed, and look out for my August wrap up, because it was my most read month ever, at least on my Goodreads stats. So that'll be a fun video.